All right, so today we're going to look at solving absolute value equations. So let's start with just a quick reminder that remember in absolute value is how far something is from zero. All right, so let's look at the steps for solving an absolute value. First thing is we want to make sure that the absolute value part of it is by itself. Okay, so there's nothing outside adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing to our absolute value. Once we have the absolute value by itself, we can create two equations, setting what's inside the absolute value equal to the positive and negative of the number on the other side of our equal sign. And then from there, it's just solving both equations, which is typically a 1 to 2 step equation. After that, typically we are going to write our answer as a solution set. And we usually write it from least to greatest. All right, so let's look at this here. So first thing I want to do is I want to set up two equations. So I've got x is equal to 3 and x is equal to a negative 3. Now in this case, there's nothing to solve, so that would be my answer. Okay, p equal to 12. The absolute value of p equals 12. Well, p is going to equal 12, and p is going to equal a negative 12. All right, so now I've got x minus 2 is equal to 4. So my absolute value is by itself. There's nothing outside the absolute value. So first thing I'm going to do is set up my two equations. So I'm going to have x minus 2, leaving what's inside the absolute value exactly the same. I'm not changing that, equal to 4. And I'm going to set up x minus 2 is equal to a negative 4. And this is, guys, remember, this is because x can be either positive or negative and get the same answer. So I'm adding 2 to both sides. I get x is equal to, well, 4 plus 2 is 6. And I'm going to do the same steps over here. Negative 4 plus 2 gives me negative 2. So either, and I didn't do this on the first two, and I apologize. So my solution is negative 2 or negative 6. And yes, I have to have both answers for it to be correct. All right, I've got absolute value of negative 3z is equal to 27. So again, first thing I do is set up the two equations. All right, so I get negative 3z equals 27 and negative 3z equals a negative 27. So first things I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by negative 3, and I get z is equal to, well, 27 divided by 3 is 9. Divide by negative 3, and that should be a negative 9 there. And then negative 27 divided by negative 3 gives me positive 9. So my solutions are negative 9 and 9. All right, let's get a little more two-step equations. So I've got the absolute value of 3m minus 3 is equal to 12. So I've got 3m minus 3 equals 12. So we get 3m minus 3 equals 12. And 3m minus 3 equals negative 12. So from here, it's just solving a two-step equation. I'm going to add 3 on both sides here. So I get 3m equals, well, 12 plus 3 is 15. Divide both sides by 3. And I get m is equal to 5. Or add 3 on both sides here. All right, so negative 12 plus 3 gives me negative 9. So I get 3m equal to negative 9. Divide both sides by 3. And m is equal to negative 3. So my solution set here, guys, would be negative 3 and 5. So I've got x over 4 minus 5 equals, in the absolute value, that equals 14. So I'm still going to set up my two sets of equations. So x over 4 minus 5 equals 14, and x over 4 minus 5 equals negative 14. Okay, add 5 to both sides. I get x over 4 equals 14 plus 5 is 19 times by 4, and I get x is equal to 76. Same steps on the other one. Add 5. Negative 14 plus 5 gives me a negative 9. I get x over 4 equals negative 9. Multiply by 4. Oof, terrible 4s there. Negative 9 times 4 gives me negative 36. So my solution set is negative 36 and 76. All right. That is all I have for you. I will see you in the next.